I think that's a really...
He's already won one match that way.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's his plan in the matchup.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. His opponent is playing the blue-white like aggro equipment deck that one of the players at Pro Tour Paris top-8'd with. He's got Student of Warfares and Mirren Crusaders to go along with the Stoneforge and the Squadron Hawks.
And he's also running the Mortar Pod.
Yeah, he added the Mortar Pod too, which is interesting. I don't know if I like it necessarily in this version, because like your guys are really good. Like I don't know how many of them I'm going to fling at people, but he's got the Basilisk Collar in the main, Bone Horde in the main.
I mean, he doesn't have the elixir, so he can't really do.
Yeah, exactly. So he can't just fling Hawks into his opponent until they cry Uncle. It's more of a utility card, I guess.
Right.
But I guess being able to search up a ping could be really relevant, like against Boros. Maybe this is just better than Solak Ice Snap in a lot of spots.
Yeah.
I could see that being true. And we have mostly conventional stuff on the board. He's got 4 Ratchet Bombs, which are obviously huge against a lot of the aggressive decks. They might be good against Ali also, because he's got a lot of cards that sit on the board. His Chalices are very important to keep sitting on the board. He's got pretty diverse costs, fortunately. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be bringing him in 5. I just rely on the Divine Offerings. He does have Journey to Nowheres, which are pretty good against a lot of Ali stuff. Ali said that he brings in Blightsteel Colossus out of the sideboard to hardcast against Callblade players because they can't beat it.
Wow.
But this guy has Journey to Nowhere, so if he winds up bringing it in, he could be in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he plays it, they oust it, they Day of Judgment, they do all kinds of things. It just doesn't matter. He just sits there. Eventually, he gets them. He always gets them. Shuffling up. What else do you have? I mean, his weird cards, he's got one Contagion Engine, which he says is really handy for the poison kills, and it also keeps his Tumble Magnets alive. The sickest thing the deck can do is actually play a turn 2 Thrumming Bird, because you've got so many leads, like turn 1 Enclave Cryptologist, turn 2 Thrumming Bird, you just start upping your tome. You've got Tumble Magnet you can keep around, you can mod your Ratchet Bomb a lot faster. Very cool deck. Like, it almost seems just a crime to not have a Tezzeret in the deck. Like, to not just somehow get black in there. I assume he tried it. I mean, I don't know what I would cut just looking at it. This is a good Treasure Mage deck. Engine, Wormcoil Engine, Contagion Engine, multiple engines. Steel Hellkite, Mindslaver. He's running Mystifying Maze alongside his Inkmoth Nexuses. That's interesting. What are we mazing? I guess Maze is actually pretty strong against the equipment.
Yeah.
If someone tries to suit up, they're just going to fail over and over, pretty much.
Okay, so Ali leads with an island and preordains, seeing a Thrumming Bird and a Cryptologist.
The combo, I guess he just got rid of the bird, I think. Left the Cryptologist. Nope, opposite way. Yep. Got rid of the Cryptologist and kept the bird. He's got the Nexus, so he can get some poison going in this game. Probably won't, his opponent's pretty aggressive, so... he jigs up on the weird deck, I guess. He's probably going to follow with Grand Architect, I imagine, and then a Chalice on 1, and then a Thrumming Bird attack to up the Chalice to 2.
Seems pretty good. Let's see, 2
lands. Oh, those Tectonic Edges, they might be relevant in this matchup. Yeah, they won't color screw Ali, of course, but I mean his Inkmoth Nexus are pretty nice.
That was a Student of Warfare.
Yes. Is he not
and a Colonnade.
Oh, was it a student? I thought it was.
Yeah, it was
Student
of
right.
Warfare.
The lighting was weird for me.
It looked like a Plains, yeah.
Well, student right on time as usual. The old turn 2s. Treasure Mage. Well, we've got a plan in this game already. Now we'll probably... Oh, he's just going to Chalice rather than... Interesting.
Well, now he can swing with the Thrumming Bird.
No, yeah, I thought he had a Grand Architect, though, so then he could play the Architect, tap the Architect to play Chalice, and then swing. And he gets 2 damage and the Proliferate counter, but maybe I missaw...
He's going with the Treasure Mage right here.
Yeah, he's going to Treasure Mage and just hope to draw a land. Or I guess he doesn't have to hope, he can just attack up the Chalice and post-combat play whatever he wants. Wow.
That's a pretty cool idea.
That is a better line. That's why we're on this side of the microphone, boys and girls. Don't see all the angles. I actually played Ali at GP Atlanta.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's a very good player. His matchup was like 2080 his favor without that edge,
that was extended, right?
Yeah, it was extended.
When did you play there?
I played Red Green Valakut, he played the Blue Green Omen deck.
Oh, cool.
Games were very, very tight. His opponent's probably thinking, oh, what's going on here?
It's a pretty...
He's looking at that spell pierce, so knowing he wants to keep mana open for it, for sure. That's one of the things I like about decks like this. Your opponent just has to be so concerned about what you can do.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna plan to hold for that spell pierce probably, and it doesn't even matter that, like, he doesn't know what Ollie's gonna do. He just thinks it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Like he has to defend against that Mindslaver, but it could be just all kinds of things could happen here. Grand Architect's not bad. I think he probably I think he's gonna play around the Pierce here. Like he knows that this archetype plays Pierce.
Yeah.
He has no real reason to. He can just play the Architect. He can get in with his Inkmoth Nexus. Architect can pump the Inkmoth Nexus if he has another blue mana, which he doesn't right now.
Oh, wow.
That's an interaction that has come up, he has said.
That's really cool.
2/2 Infect is definitely very strong.
Now he can feel free to play that Architect because he knows his opponent, if he has Spell Pierce.
Yeah. Not a threat. He may not want to waltz into a Day Judgment here, but a Day Judgment against that student is not that bad for him. A 2 for 3 after he's already cantripped, he'll just untap into Mindslaver if the guy days. Like, it is the least threatening thing he could possibly do. I think Ollie's decided to buy it. He was thinking like, well, I don't know. I mean, I think he'd pre-combat the Grand Architect if he was going to not play the Mindslaver, so... Curious what he's actually playing here. He's just going to play a Ratchet Bomb. Yeah, okay. Now he's kind of repping counter magic of his own here, because I would expect a deck like this to definitely be running Stoic Rebuttals, but Ollie's actually only running one.
Nice.
He has just the Miser's hard counter.
That's great.
Despite the fact that he can relatively consistently Metalcraft it.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be enough to convince his opponent to wait a turn on Jace. Food will be here soon, so I figured you could just eat. Food should be here soon, so I figured you could just eat. Again, in the tank, because he just doesn't know what's up.
If you'd like to participate and have not registered yet, please come out of the silence area now.
Student Warfare is being raced rather convincingly by these draft all-stars.
Yeah. Well, Treasure Mage has been getting a little bit of love lately in the Tezzeret lists and things like that. Thrumming Bird is think about as left field and standard as left field gets. So. 2 Pierces, 2 Jaces. That's it. Ollie doesn't even have to make a move really in this game. Like, he can wait. His opponent's pretty far back. Another Thrumming Bird. Does he have 2 Architects in his hand? Yeah, he drew one on the last turn and decided not to play it. I assume he was deciding to play around the day. Like, doesn't want to get too crazy. Architect is, after all, a huge engine in his deck. If he can deploy it and then untap, the Mindslaver will be safe from Leak and Pierce. Yep. Fight. There's a very suboptimal configuration of cards to be holding against a Grand Architect in this position. And that's the old 5 damage. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he proliferates the Ratchet Bomb there. No, definitely not. He'll just sit on that for pretty much forever. Plains is not going to be much help here. Yeah, Ollie just takes the damage. The Ratchet Bomb, with how fast he can proliferate, there's really no reason to be particularly aggressive with it, I imagine. Oh yeah, the Nexus is actually still alive, isn't it? Jace, Sculpted Minds.
It's a pretty dangerous card to play when you know your opponent has a Mindslaver.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've definitely won a lot of games. You Mindslaver them and then Jace and like put their cards back in their deck and then crack their Scalding Tarn and fail to find, and they just grip full of lands. Like.
Or he could even just play the second Jace in this game.
Yeah, he can definitely do that if he doesn't brainstorm it away, as he hopefully will right here. That's not going to do the trick. There's nothing in that hand to stop Ali. Is the white card Mirran Crusader? I think it is. To the left of the spell pierces.
So.
I believe that's what it is. Yeah. Basilisk Collar might be able to let him back in the race, but he can't play Basilisk Collar as long as that bomb's out.
Is that Stoneforge or Mirran Crusader?
I think it's Mirran Crusader, but I can't tell. He's got it stuck underneath there. I'm pretty sure it's Mirran. Yeah, that looks like a Mirran Crusader.
Yeah.
Well, none of these cards are particularly good. None of them are particularly miserable. And imagine he just tosses the lands. Yeah, right. Nope, maybe wants to hide the Mirran Crusader for some reason. I don't know why. To be fair, he doesn't know that Ali is mono blue. He could expect his opponent to have access to some kind of disruption. Like, it's relatively rare to see a monocolor deck in this format, especially one that plays so much mana.
One that plays blue spells without other support.
It looks like he chucked the Mirran Crusader in a land. Yeah. Wow, this Mindslaver could do all kinds of things. Ali may just try and land it though and wait for an opportune moment. In order to play around Spell Pierce, he'll have to tap some of his guys because he can't pay for Spell Pierce with them, but they do make the Slaver cost 2 less. So
right.
That's a sacrifice he's gonna have to make if he goes for it here. Grand Architect nets no mana here, I guess. Like, I guess he might as well, I suppose. Helps you account for losing some of the damage. Yeah, and now the Thrumming Bird can kill Jace on the attack, but that might, like, if he knew his opponent's hand, he probably wouldn't even want to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's going to attempt to Spell Pierce, he'll pay it.
Yep. And then I'll use the Thrumming Bird to activate. And then you're up. That Tech Edge is probably going to be pointing at someone else this turn. It was important Ali just played his 4th land. He'd been keeping the Inkmoth Nexus safe by not playing it, and now his opponent has no opportunity.
Pretty nasty.
Yep. I imagine we're going to play our Jace. Is he not going to use the Jace first to Fate Seal? I don't believe he Fate Sealed. I think he's just playing the Jace here.
Yep.
I think you Fate Seal the opponent on that one. I mean, his opponent, of course. Kill Colonnade. And he's having his opponent attack to keep him from defending himself. And then he'll pop his bomb. Does he have lethal? I think that's what he's counting now. Yeah. Lethal.
He's got it. Wow.
Mindslaver.
That was a crazy
That was a weird fireball.
Yeah, right? That was great.
That was fireball suspend, basically, on that one. And it was a dance, but he eventually just got there. And the proliferate on the Chalice was...
Yeah.
It got real silly.
Yeah, well, I've been playing around with we've been talking about this blue-white Eldrazi list I've been playing around with, and I've been using the same kind of pack, actually, like the same package of like Contagion Clasp, Tumble Magnet, Sphere of the Sun's Chalice, and then just proliferating them all into oblivion. Ali
actually had Contagion Clasp in the deck originally, and he said that he doesn't like it unless you expect a lot of Rug, because the deck is cold to a Lotus Cobra. If your opponent plays Lotus Cobra, you're just in terrible shape. So he runs Contagion Clasp only if he expects Rug, which he didn't for this weekend. But he might actually get bit by that, because there's a fair bit of Rug out there.
Yeah. Well, Valakuts, I mean, a lot of the Valakut lists are running Cobra, too.
They are, too, but he can beat them because of the Mindslaver. Whereas against Rug, the Mindslaver is not as ridiculous.
Right.
He already beat his Valakut opponent with Mindslaver. That's generally, and the hard counters are stronger. His flash freezes are especially much stronger against Valakut than they are against Rug. So that's Rug's his bad matchup. He also has tough time against Boros. It was funny, we were talking, and he was running Perilous Mirror in the sideboard for Boros. And as we were talking, I was like, oh, you're running Perilous Mirror? He's like, yeah, you know, you block, try and get another guy with it. And I was like, well, seems like Necropede might be better, because it kills it even after the landfall triggers go away at end of turn.
Right.
Ali's like, oh yeah, I guess that might be better.
Yeah, well, that's why I was running Clasp in that deck, was because it takes out Step Links, takes out GP, things like that.
But the tricks with the Neg1 counters, especially because this deck has access to Proliferate, and the ability to threaten poison a little more aggressively, even.
Yeah.
He says his deck is not it's not designed to kill people with poison, but it does happen from time to time, and it's sort of an ever-present threat. Like, it's just another thing they have to play around. Like, you can't just take 8 poison against the deck and think you're okay. Like, eventually that's going to get scary.
Right.
Fanning through the deck. What's he got? Looking at boarding out Worm Coils, maybe? I don't know. He has Tumble Magnet, which is exceptional in this matchup, I imagine. Tumble Magnet gets such great value against equipment, and when you can proliferate to keep it around, it becomes even better. I think he's having trouble finding cards he wants to take out. The matchup seems pretty favorable. Bringing in the Tumble Magnet, right? I didn't see the other card. I saw 2 cards, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming he brings in the Tumble Magnet. He may have brought in the Blightsteel because that's a standard operating procedure for Cawblade, but this is a little different than normal Cawblade.
Right.
So I feel like Blightsteel might be a bit greedy. I don't really see much other than the Tumble Magnet he'd want, but he did bring in 2 cards. Maybe another Bomb.
Yeah,
to help those speedy student starts. It's also very nice if your opponent has, like, Mirror Crusader and Sword of Feast and Famine and stuff like that. You can get rid of all of it. And this opponent has Journey to Nowhere, so Ratchet Bomb is an answer to those.
Now he didn't see the journeys, but he'll be, if he did side in a third, he'll be.
He certainly didn't board out the Ratchet Bomb, so he has an answer at least. I don't think he would board out Ratchet Bomb. Contagion Engine seems spicy. Steel Hellkite, I'm not sure how good that is, really. It's kind of slow. Big and fat, dies to a Day of Judgment. He might have got rid of that instead of a Worm Coil. He said he does like Steel Hellkite, and he's actually been using the Fire Breathing a lot because of the Grand Architects.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, like, people don't really realize. They're like, oh man, what's he going to kill with it? And it's like, you. Does not take much. 10 mana is surprisingly achievable, as we just saw.
Yeah.
He had 13 at the end of that game.
Definitely. Contagion Engine is one of those cards I've been dying to find a home for.
It's really strong against the Boros decks.
Yeah.
I think, like, that makes it actually a real consideration if you can turbo it out there. And like I said, his deck's main draws all involve Thrumming Bird Chalice. Those are just the best things you can do.
Yeah, watching that Thrumming Bird Chalice interaction.
It was the defining point of that entire game, to be sure. Well, we've got that bomb. Have no turn 1. What did we keep here? Kept Bomb, Treasure Mage, Architect, Thrumming Bird, and we drew a second bomb. It's interesting. Hand's a little slow, but he has the Treasure Mage to find the right action, which is a pretty important card. Treasure Mage seems just like the perfect card for this deck, actually.
Yeah, it has way more targets in this deck than I've seen in any other decks that run it.
And
most of them just run it for a single Worm Coil or something.
Yeah, it certainly takes advantage of all the options. Like, there are definitely, like, between Engine, Hellkite, Mindslaver, Worm Coil, and then the post-boarded Blightsteel Colossus. He also has Platinum Empyrean, which he boards in against the aggro decks that can't Shatter, but I feel like that might not be that great right now because so many people are prepared to play Shatter.
Right.
Did we lose our Throwing Bird to a Mana Leak? Is that what happened here?
He went to play Ratchet Bomb.
Ratchet Bomb.
And I got
Spell Pierce. Okay. They moved their graveyards a little. Oh, there it is. I see the screen. Architect for Bomb. Now, this is an awkward spot to be the player with the Grand Architect and Ratchet Bomb. It's an awkward spot to have 2 Mirror Crusaders as well, however. That is such a clock. I really like that guy in Boros. I haven't really tried out this deck,
Yeah.
but
Joey is definitely a blue-white player, and he was...
well, now we can pop that bomb on 3 for much better value than we were going to before.
yeah.
I imagine he's going to play Thrumming Bird here so that he can go proliferate on the next turn and pop it. And that looks right. He's going to take the Chalice and then play... Oh, he doesn't have another land. Nope. Can't take the Chalice. I mean, he could. It's just very bold. Yep, Chalice. And then he's going to Thrumming Bird. And that'll enable him to kill the Mirror Crusader. He'll have to go to 12 to do it. But his opponent will have Jace. His opponent might actually Jace bounce. I don't know that I would, but it's a viable line. If he bounces, he guarantees getting in another hit with that Crusader. The Brainstorms are so tempting. Oh, he bounced, yep.
Yep.
He wants to go to town. I imagine we may wind up using the Treasure Mage as a chumper this turn. Or you could take the 4 again. No, yeah, I think it's correct. You take the 4 again, you have the Treasure Mage to attack the Jace. It forces him to make another play. Digging for that land, I think he just whiffed. There he goes.
There it is.
Third down, as usual. Oh, he brought in Negate. That was the other card.
Okay. That makes sense.
I don't know. I don't really like Negate in this matchup, I feel like. I guess it lets you stick your threats a little faster.
Well, it might have been better
Wow,
than something that he boarded out to, you know, for the matchup.
He was about to play that Chalice, and I think he realized he might want to do something that threatens the Jace. That 2 attack is going to be pretty handy, I think. No? Chalice Bird? Or is he just going to hold Negate? Holding Negate here seems real loose. Ugh. His opponent's not even planning to play a non-creature spell this turn. Even if he drew one, the only one he might play is a sword. Naturally, he has few equipment in the deck, thanks to Stoneforge Mystic, so it's not very likely he's going to hit something like that.
He just drew a Stoneforge.
Yep. Brainstorm with the Preordained. Maybe all he's plan is to get that Mystifying Maze online. I feel like he's still not going to beat the Jace with that plan, though.
Right.
In the tank.
Attacks for 4, takes Ally down to 8.
Is that a Divine Offering in our hand, is the other card?
I think it, yeah, it is.
I believe so. That's bad news for us. Bad news for the Ali team. Oh, that was not correct. Now he gets his Grand Architect back. Should have waited until Ali proliferated it up at the end of the turn. Or not proliferated, but tapped, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it might not be enough in this game, but if he just goes for Sword of... Does he have Sword of Body and Mind in his deck, actually? I don't see it. No, he has 2 Feast and Famine and a Sword of Vengeance. Wow, Ali got lucky. He said he can't beat a Sword of Body and Mind.
Wow.
It's just so tough. That was a fortunate thing. Well, now we can come out of this game with a variety of... Well, Mindslaver is not going to do it. We're a little ways off from that one. Well, we need another creature to live through Jace, unless we're planning to hold open for the maze. Casually moving the deck box. Let's see what we've got here. None of these look awesome. Treasure Mage can get us a Contagion Engine, maybe? Contagion Engine, if we can stick it, might actually be enough.
It would help.
1/1 double strikers are a lot worse than 2/2 double strikers. We'd have to plan to hit a land to draw it, unless we're keeping our Grand Architect alive, but I don't think our opponent's going to let us do that. So I think Bird into Treasure Mage for... Oh no, yeah, we can go Bird into Treasure Mage into Engine.
Wow. All right.
And all of a sudden we're alive again.
All right,
I forgot about
Here
that
we
one.
go.
Oh, wow. Wowzers. Oh, he did. He brought in the Blightsteel. Did you see it?
Oh, wow.
I think he's
okay.
going to bring it out after this game, though. After seeing these Mirror Crusaders and the Pseudo Warfares, he's probably not psyched about trying to drop an 11 or a 12.
Attention Magic players. Seedings for deck construction for the two-headed giant tournament.
This opponent has to be like, really? Because now that Thrumming Bird will just kill his whole team if it attacks.
Again, seedings for deck construction for 2HG have been posted where Sam is dancing. Please
I'd
find
feel
your
bad that it
seats.
took me a while to see that one, but it took Ali a while too, so... So now we don't die to virtually any card. I can't think of one that kills us. Mortar Pod would be real bad, but not actually get lethal.
Right. Well, he's tapped out though.
Well, no, I mean,
couldn't Chris play this? Well, no, he'd have to play and equip it. He's one mana away from that. So I was gonna say he could play a Stoneforge, search up a sword.
nope.
Oh,
But
he's a
that's
mana-
still...
No, he's
yeah.
2 mana short. Never mind.
Yeah. Can't
For
get
some reason, I
there.
thought he had 6 mana. Oh.
He was drawing to just the sword, assuming he kept it in. Which, to be fair, like, it's a pretty loose card against the mono blue deck. I think Sword of Vengeance might actually be better than Feast and Famine in this
Yeah.
matchup. Like, I guess having the 1 is probably utility. He definitely kept in the Mortar Pod. That card's so good in this matchup.
Yes.
The Basilisk Collar's probably not that great. Bone Horde, I don't really think you board out Bone Horde very often, considering it's a tutorable fatty, especially in this matchup with tons of dudes.
Yeah.
Preordained into not much from the looks of, I think it was land something. Oh, we're looking at the wrong image. Oh, nothing good. He put it on the bottom. Going for a tear. Colonnade is a threat.
It sure is.
But at this point, it's actually one that Ali is pretty reasonably equipped to handle.
Yeah, he's got the maze, so
Yeah.
he'll just maze it out.
He has to maze and kill these guys, though, on the next turn. So he might end up having to chump block. But the Grand Architect and Treasure Mage are now fine blockers.
Yeah.
Whereas before they were fodder. Brainstorm for... I think he was trying to hit a sword there, based on his plays. He didn't play the Colony, like he's waiting to see if he can hit untap land sword. But he failed on both counts. I imagine we'll put back both of our lands here. Keep the Colonnade, put back the edge, and the... Well, I guess we'll hold on the edge for the Mistbind Maze, of course. That makes sense.
Have you seen Ali's deck yet?
I was watching from over there when he last game.
Okay.
Mindslaver.
Yeah. That was great, right?
I was watching some of it and thinking, all right, next turn he's probably going to Mindslaver, and then I walked over here and he was in the middle of Mindslaver, and I heard you say, that's a weird fireball. So like, in this game, what's happened? I kind of missed it. I see two
Ali's
Treasure
been
Mages.
really far behind, but
That's
he's
a Treasure Mage,
on
a
the
Thrumming Bird, a Grand Architect.
Contagion Engine.
Two Mirror Crusaders that have gotten hit with a Contagion Engine. They'll most likely die next turn.
You said Ali's been pretty far behind.
He's been very far behind this game. His opponent let him Journey to get back a Grand Architect with Journey. Like he We're pretty sure Ali was planning to put the Ratchet Bomb to 3 to kill the Mirror Crusader. His opponent Divine Offering main phase instead of end stepping once he put it to 3. So that let him pop it for the journey. But it's possible Ali was going to pop it for the journey anyway. So, but either way, it's you definitely wait till the end of your own turn. His opponent's checking on something here. Maybe a power toughness check or something.
So this is basically like a mono blue proliferate deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has like happenstance infect kills. It beats him to death with Wormcoil and Mindslaver. Like, yes, Steel Hellkite is a beater too.
Yeah.
There's a Steel Hellkite in there.
Tumble Magnet seems like one of the strongest cards in the deck, honestly. And we haven't actually seen one, but just thinking about how the games play out, it's probably one of the most exciting options available.
I would like to see a Wormcoil engine hit play and die.
I think Ali would like that very much. Stone Forging up. Are we looking at Bonehorde?
Yeah,
that doesn't seem right. I think Sword of Vengeance is probably if he brought it in. I don't know that he did. When every creature is about to become hasted, that turns Ali into like big problems.
What's about to be hasty?
Like if he brought in his Sword of Vengeance from the sideboard, then Ali has to play around a hasted creature for the rest of the game, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I don't see it. I think he just has Mortar Pod and Bonehorde.
Or no, it has that Mortar Pod.
I don't really like the getting Bonehorde, but Mortar Pod could be a pretty reasonable choice. And Mortar Pod is lethal unless Ali, like it makes Ali activate the engine. I'm pretty sure he's going to anyway, but I think I'd go for the Mortar Pod if I were in his position. Now, of course, the natural danger is if Ali untaps into Mindslaver, the Mortar Pod becomes a bit of a liability.
Definitely.
So that may be the biggest reason he didn't get it, is he fears Ali naturally drawing the Mindslaver here. Or I guess actually a Treasure Mage for Mindslaver is also castable, yes? Yeah. He can cast and activate a Mindslaver if he has Treasure Mage too.
Doesn't it seem like Venser could be decent in Ali's deck with like...
Venser and Tezzeret both seem good, but he's mono blue. Like,
I mean, I'm looking at like the Contagion
yeah,
engine,
I mean,
the
he's...
Tumble Magnets,
he's got all kinds of craziness.
Grab, you know, I don't know how many Treasure Mages he has.
I assume he tried it, because he's a crazy man. He has 3.
Yeah,
3
okay.
Treasure Mage. So he knows that his opponent has a Bonehorde in the grip. But I don't think that really is much of a threat here. Does his opponent play the Colonnade? I assume he did.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't actually see. Okay. We zoomed away for a sec. So yeah, he knows he has to play around Colonnade. He's going to try and get rid of that Jace now. And it's going to be successful. Mindslaver, Slaver you, attack Jace. Probably going to happen. Attack Jace, proliferate all these idiots. Oh, it's only damage to players, my bad. He'll kill all the idiots next turn. That's when we kill the idiots. This opponent draws a land. This opponent's probably like, yeah, land, standard. Now, the ability to get rid of that tech edge is so huge because it makes the Mystifying Maze an answer to Colonnade again. And it wasn't before. We're tapping for Bonehorde here. Tech edging our own Colonnade. Squadron Hawk and the Fail Defines. Oh, if he plays the Squadron Hawk, then his Therming Bird can be blocked next turn. I guess he figures that's probably worth getting rid of it. And Glacial Fortress in the grip. I'll bet he kind of wishes he had that Jace around to make that turn a little worse. But
Yeah.
he could have got rid of the Boneforge, maybe, or Bonehorde. Boneforge. Actually, I kind of like that.
So Ollie's holding another Treasure Mage,
Yep.
and
Might just go get another Mindslaver here, actually. Like, I think I'd rather get the Wormcoil, but it's an option. Wormcoil can win in a fight against Bone Horde, which is pretty important.
Very true.
Yeah, we no longer need to keep that Mystifying Maze online, unless we want to. I think we're definitely playing a Treasure Mage. He's just doing the math to figure out if he can get what he wants. Steel Hellkite would actually be a pretty silly one. Got 8 mana here. He's just going to proliferate first. Dead. Pump the Chalice. Now, are we going to attack to get rid of the Hawk now? Or what can he die to? Let's think about that.
What can Ali die to?
Yeah, if he doesn't, because his opponent has 3 creatures, so Mortar Pod will be a threat, but I think he can beat it if he gets Wormcoil.
Yeah.
I don't really see much else that's actually going to kill him. His opponent doesn't have access to Day of Judgments. It seems like this one's mostly all over.
Yeah, no day. Huh.
I mean, he's pretty aggressive, so...
Yeah, it's true. I guess I'm so
he's just going to take the Mindslaver and...
So programmed to, like, see blue and white and have it be control, you know?
5, 6, 7...
So he has just searched 1, 2, 3. Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh, Blightsteel. Wow. Can he cast? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I only count 10.
I don't think he can this turn.
No. Maybe he's just like, whatever, you can't do anything, go. Like, I have Mystifying Maze, I'm just gonna... I think this might be a little showboating for the cameras, to be honest. I think he knows he's pretty far ahead, and he wants to get the Blightsteel kill on the camera. I'll have to ask him later. I feel like Wormcoil is just a better card in this position. Like, I don't know what card his opponent could possibly draw to make him afraid. Like, Journey to Nowhere wouldn't even kill him, it would just be like a good card. But now, see, the problem is you need an opponent who's game. You need an opponent who's willing to get attacked by Blightsteel Colossus to make this happen, which I don't know if we've got one of those. Rashad, are you ready to type 11 poison? I don't think you have to type 11 poison.
You should type it, but then you should have it flash on the center of the screen over and over again. 11 poison.
He's probably going to chump with the Throwing Bird this turn, I imagine, rather than maze it to let his opponent search up a bunch of Hawks.
Yeah.
Judge Sam Strauss. 2 side events, please.
Yeah, he's got 12 without the
Judge
Throwing Bird,
Sam
right?
Strauss. 2 side events, please.
Is he? Nope, he's mazing it.
Well, all right.
That's a dangerous...
Well, I mean...
Well, I guess it only comes back at end of turn,
right,
so it's not that big a deal. Uh-oh, bomb. That doesn't really do much of anything. It's not equipped, but yeah, it's tapped. Yeah, there we go. Demonstrating how all our cards work. Judge verifying that it is tapped. Not the first time someone's read a card from Ali's deck.
Yeah, right?
Not even like this year. not in the past hour. Not anything. Oh look, another Flowing Chalice. This is one of those positions where like you can get the most out of your turn, or you can just play a Blightsteel Colossus.
Yeah.
Figure out, oh, can I play the Chalice and then upgrade the Chalice and then do all this and then do all that? Like,
Yeah, I got my roommate pretty mad at me the other day because we were playing, and I was like trying to figure out how to proliferate. He was playing Boros, he had all these creatures out, and I spent all this time trying to figure out how to proliferate right and play the Chalices, and then I went day. And he was like, come on, did you really have to just sit there for 2 minutes trying to figure out...
to get all the mana right and then play the card that
Well,
wrecks
I'm
you,
testing
you know?
the deck, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'm testing the interactions between the cards on my deck, so like...
How are you going to learn?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess 10 poison is a lot easier to get than 19 life at this point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to fight for our wins, right?
No.
He wants to make sure he doesn't die to anything here. I think we want to tap our color. Yeah, make sure we tap that because he can get rid of that if we're trying to use Mystifying Maze to defend ourselves. There's 12.
And there is
Casually plays
Blightsteel
Blightsteel Colossus.
Joe, we've got a Blightsteel Colossus on the board.
No.
Hard cast. Grand Arbiter. John Medina's excited. We're
The
gonna crowd
has,
here.
the deck only hardcasts it. He boards it in with this express plan to hardcast
Are you
it.
kidding me? That's awesome. Look at his face.
Like, what do I do?
If you're going to get attacked by a Blightsteel Colossus,
Well, he could
the
dream
SCG
up a
Live
journey.
camera is not the best
No,
place.
he needs that the thing that steals it and gives him haste.
What does he have there? Is that a bone? Is that a
Bone Horde. Bone Horde, Ratchet Bomb,
equipped
Squad
anything?
Hawk. No.
No.
It was detached by Mystifying Maze on the previous turn. We're explaining how Blightsteel Colossus works now.
He needs to soak up that poison right now.
Yeah. Well, he has to soak up all three because the Grand Architect can turn it blue. To give it +1/+1.
Oh god, yeah.
So it's a 12-12
Well, he needs
actually.
to equip the bone. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
He needs
yeah,
to
like-
soak it up by equipping.
So he can't attack because he'll just have his guys, too many tap guys. He'll be dead to far too much.
Those are treasure mages?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh boy.
Treasure mages that can search up worm coil engines, mind slavers, steel hellkite,
Contagion engine.
contagion engine,
Is always good for a break.
Blightsteel, and platinum Empyrean out of the sideboard.
Is Master Computer legal? No, it's not. What's he doing? Yeah, I'll tap 11 mana. That's Drew Levin, ladies and gentlemen. Hey guys.
This game, what's Ollie? Yeah, he's blocking, of course. Like, oh yeah, I'll block the lethal attack. That seems advisable.
Try not to die here.
Now his opponent will play some Hawks and try to live.
Two treasure mages and a Grand
Grand
Arbiter.
Architect.
Grand Architect.
Oh,
not
okay,
Arbiter.
that's sort of how he's casting. his
Yes.
Blightsteel
He
Colossus.
played Treasure Mage into Contagion Engine after he had no permanents on the board at the end of his turn, and then the next turn he had 3 guys in Contagion
He's
Engine.
undefeated, right?
201, about to be 301 it looks
Yeah,
like.
thank God he's not in my bracket. I don't want to have to figure any of that out. I'll just play the mirror all the time. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
Enclave Cryptologist, right on time.
Enclave Cryptologist? Or is it? I don't think
Yeah, but it goes with your Thrumming Birds.
I feel like he's better for a Lighthouse Chronologist than an Enclave Cryptologist.
I don't know if he thought about that one. I'll have to suggest.
He's definitely put Lighthouse Chronologist in Blue White before.
Oh no, I know he was gonna play like last. He was talking about that before.
And,
Like
he
in this
played it
deck, he
his
thought
six
about play.
deck.
Actually, no, he did. He did mention it. Actually, one of my friends said he mentioned
Soak
it.
it up. 80.
Soak it up. Oh, the Contagion Engine. Actually, he has to block 5 because of the engine. I forgot about that.
Wow.
So yeah, like
He can like.
this is icky. Icky at best. Oh, now he's all in on that maze. His opponent can actually win by top decking a Tectonic Edge.
Or just having a Tectonic Edge.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have one.
He's not good enough to slow roll it.
Well, he got Mind Slavered like 2 turns ago.
never mind.
He was slow rolling it and got
Yeah.
Mind Slavered.
Boom! Nice Tectonic Edge, bro.
No longer worked out. So now he's just gotta basically hope his opponent doesn't hit there.
Let's see.
The old 3
Edge?
hours.
Edge or no edge?
Peel it. Peel
Do
it.
it.
Come on, do it. Nope.
Nope.
Kind of close-ish. That is Blightsteel Colossus, ladies and gentlemen.
Does he have a colonnade to soak up anything? It doesn't look like it.
He just drew
No,
one.
he just drew the. Yeah, he doesn't have one in play. That was what
Right.
got tech edged. Now he'll fight.
Wait, isn't he just dead to proliferate?
Yeah, now he's dead,
double
yeah.
proliferate? Yeah, no, he's on 6, so he goes to 8 and 10. Yeah, good game. Literally just dead on board.
Well, that was entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna.
Why did he just proliferate right away?